What's going on, guys? Alex Earth 814 EDC, and today I'm ready to do my full review on the second knife that came in the all USA made Kershaw package, courtesy of Lefty EDC, the Launch 19. Now, this is the first of the Launch series that I've ever handled from Kershaw. I've watched plenty of reviews on them. I've always looked at them on different websites and stuff like that. There's been a specific couple that have caught my eye before, and I've been close to purchasing. But yeah, this is the first rendition of a Launch series knife that I've ever handled. And it's a very, very popular series of automatics from Kershaw, or Kershaw series of automatics, I should say. And they always seem to do really well. They're affordably priced for what you get. Again, made in the USA, usually with pretty solid materials. And I think the Launch 19 is definitely, one of the cooler ones. I'm not a huge fan going right off the rip here. I don't love the aesthetic of it. I like it. It's not my favorite design of the other, out of the 19 that they've done so far. But it's very well made, has a great action. It's very, very comfortable. The ergos are just fit like a glove. So I've been very happy with it. I was pretty excited when Kevin tossed this one, as well as the Bel Air, if you guys caught that video. Just fantastic knife. Also a fantastic knife, but I was really happy when he tossed those two into the passaround group for us, and I was eager to jump on them. But if you guys are interested in the Launch 19, it'll be linked down below. Similar to the Bel Air review, I found it on Knife Center for a pretty good price. Again, it's cheaper than Blade HQ for some reason. It wasn't as different as the Bel Air, because on Blade HQ, the Bel Air was $165, but on Knife Center, it was $150, so you save $15. And I think it was only like a $2 or $3 difference from Blade HQ to Knife Center. But again, very, very weird how they can have different stuff like that and have not a set price everywhere. It's definitely mind-blowing to me. But getting right into materials, this is rocking a 154 cm blade. This is a clip point, so you have some jimping up top here, kind of almost a poon, but then a nice drop off down here, thin behind the edge. You guys can see right there, Auto Kershaw, coming in at 154 cm. It's two-tone, so everything is satin, and then up here on the flats you have a DLC coated part of the blade. Excuse me. I'm filming this right after the Bel Air review. My throat just started getting scratchy at the end of that video. I'm getting low on my water, so we're going to push through this. But the DLC texturing goes over here to the aluminum, and in the back half you have what I thought was a micarta piece of scale, but it's actually a brown G10, so that's kind of interesting. Earth brown G10 is what they're calling it. You have your lanyard hole back there with a loop over style deep carry clip that is reversible, and unlike the Bel Air, the Kershaw logo on here is engraved into it. Unlike on the Bel Air, it's lasered, which I like better. Just bump the table. The USA made logo right there. A fully DLC coated or anodized aluminum scale. You have a choil. No internal milling, but it's very, very lightweight. I don't think this, obviously it's a push button auto, so you have the button right there. Push it in to close. For some specs, so we have a blade length of 3.3 inches, a close length of 4.4 inches, overall length of 7.7 inches, 154 cm, blade thickness of 0.121 inches, so a pretty thin blade thickness, very similar to the Bel Air, both very thin blades. You have a clip point style blade with a two-tone blade finish. Again, it's black anode aluminum with an earth brown G10 presentation scale, handle thickness of 0.475 inches, comes in at 3 ounces, so also very, very lightweight. And again, you don't have any milled pockets on the scales on either side, but I really don't think you need it. It's very, very lightweight, and that's honestly a huge, plus in my opinion for knives. You guys know, and I think anybody likes a lightweight knife, especially 3.3 inches of a blade. Like that's a medium-sized knife, but coming in at 3 ounces is really, really fantastic. So as far as materials go for, starting off the review section of, my categories that I do, got to give it a 5. 154 cm, auto knife, aluminum, brown G10, loop over style deep carry clip that is reversible. And I think I've said it in the last 3 or 4 of my videos and my reviews. For you not to get a 5 on my materials section of my review, it has to be pretty, pretty bad. I think every knife I've given so far has been a 5, or have been at least a 4.5. But yeah, so 5 on that. Next up is aesthetic. Now, this is where, like I said earlier in the video, the knife's going to fall a little bit short. I don't love how this knife looks. I like it. Clip points just aren't my favorite. I can appreciate them, and in some aspects, I do like them. And that's where I'm going to fall here. I like this. I like the blade. The handle is okay. Like it's not a bad looking knife by any means. However, it's just not my favorite, design that I've seen, especially, like I said, in the Launch series. Is it terrible? No, it's good. I like it. I just don't love it, and that's why I'm going to give it a 4. It just is not my cup of tea, not something I'm going to go out of my way to buy, but I really, since I've got it in, since I've carried it, since I've just, fidgeted with it, I have grown to like it more, if I'm being completely honest. So I think a 4 is very fair. And again, these are all opinion-based. You have to take everything with a grain of salt. You could think that this knife looks like it's the sexiest knife in the world. Honestly, looking at it this way, I think it looks better because I don't mind the brown G10, but it just kind of throws me for a loop. And I just feel like if this was a fully blacked out aluminum scale like this, it would look better, because I think this view looks kind of sinister looking, where this one kind of just looks like, it is what it is. So I think that's kind of throwing me off as well. But it's getting a 4 on the aesthetic. Now for the action, fires out of there. Obviously, just like the slip joint I reviewed the other day, this is my first non-locking, or it is locking, but this is the first automatic I've done with my new review system. So I'm going to treat it, very similar to a folder, or a, locking folder. But you have a push button, flies right out of there. I mean, to me, it fires hard. Granted, I have yet to handle a ProTech automatic, which I know, shame on me. I really want to handle a ProTech automatic, and I've thought of buying one multiple times. I really like the Runt series, and there's a couple other ones that I have had my eye on. So I can't really relate it to that. I think I've only had one. No, I've had a couple automatic knives. The biggest one, the best one, was the Microtech LUDT, which I want to eventually get another one into my collection, or possibly get the LUDT 2 or 3. They just revamped it, I guess you can say. And I've had some other like Bokers and cheaper ones. But this is, again, the first Launch series knife I've handled. To me, it fires hard. It's not too hard to disengage. You just push the button, and I can do it with one hand. Fires out. One hand. Fires out. One hand. Now, you do have to practice this. You don't want to just pick it up and fire it and do that like, if you're just a first-time knife user, because you might cut yourself, because you do have the spring tension there. But yeah, so as far as actions go on autos, to me, it's going to get a 5. Fires hard, it fires consistently, locks up every single time, and to me, that's all you can really ask for with an automatic knife. Now, acoustics. Good, but not the best. I mean, you do have that really nice resounding thwack that you get from pretty much every automatic knife. And I really like that. It's very satisfying. But, just how I said that the acoustics on the Bel Air sounded just like pretty much every other Axis style lock knife out there, I'm going to say that this is, kind of sounds like every other automatic knife out there. It's not, super different. It's not super, resounding in any way. But I'm going to give it a 4 instead of a 3.5, just because I love, automatic knife sounds. And I don't have a lot of them in the collection. So to me, every time I get one in for review, it's a little bit of a treat just hearing that thwack. And again, it's very satisfying. And while it could be better, it could be a little bit more higher pitched, I think that's worthy of a 4. So Yeah, 4 on the acoustics category, or in the acoustic category, whatever you guys want to say. Next up is ergos. And to me, this is going to get an easy 5. I'm just going to write that down right now. This knife is super duper comfortable. The aluminum has a nice finish to it. As much as I don't like the G10 from an aesthetic standpoint, from an ergo standpoint, it has a nice finish. It's honestly kind of a drier G10. That's why I thought it was a micarta at first. And it kind of resembles micarta. So it kind of, again, threw me for a loop when I saw that this was G10. But aluminum on the backside here. You do have a mini deep carry clip. Now, obviously, you have a very, very generous choil right here to use. However, choked back, you can still get all 4 fingers on this knife. Your thumb lands right there on sort of the little bit of a ramp and the jipping you have right there. And this just, it locks your hand in, especially with this restriction point right here and this nice natural groove. It is just very, very comfortable. The pot clip, you can feel a little bit. It's not really causing, it's not a hot spot by any means. When you do think you can feel it, it alleviates it by choking up, but we'll get to that in a second. But thumb lands right there up top. You can land right on the jimping, or you can push past that up on the sort of the downward area of that little poon for push cuts if you're doing anything through cardboard. And again, it's a nice flat grind, but nice and thin. Blade stock is thin. Now, while clip points aren't like the most, I don't think they're the most useful blade. That goes to Wharncliffes and Sheep's Foots and pretty much every other blade shape out there, in my personal opinion. Just because you lose, a lot of belly in through here, but it's still a decent slicing knife. But yeah, choked back, very comfortable. You can do reverse hammer grip this way. Now, choking up is really where you're going to want to shine, or your ergos are going to shine, where you're going to want to live, so on and so forth. Choked back, your pointer finger goes here, rest of your fingers follow suit, thumb lands up here. When you're choked up, your pointer finger, your middle finger lands here in the groove dedicated for your finger. 2 fingers follow suit, thumb lands. We'll do my finger first. My finger wraps around here, and my thumb can either land back here if you're kind of in a more pushed back grip, or it can land anywhere as far as out here for really good stability and power if you're trying to get through maybe double wall cardboard or things like that. So super comfortable pushing through, and that alleviates any sort of discomfort you might have with the puck clip, because it is a shorter clip, so you pretty much are off of it at this point. And to me, you're basically, this is locked into your hand. Like, this is going nowhere. It's super duper comfortable. Everything is nicely rounded and contoured, on the edges, and nothing is sharp or anything like that. So this is just so comfortable. And honestly, when you see knives like this, you can just tell, like, that's going to be a comfortable, knife to carry and use. And, I kind of thought that too when I saw this knife, and when I got it in, I was like, man, this thing, it locks into your hand. It really does. Super duper comfortable. And again, an easy 5 to give for the ergos. But next up, or lastly, I should say, is price point / value and what I recommend this knife. So price point on the Kershaw Knives Launch 19 is $167.95. So $168. I think that's a good fair price. I really do, for 154 cm, which Kershaw has long been using in their Launch series. It is a very, very standard steel from them. They know what they're doing with it. So it's not like, you're getting some crappy steel. 154 cm, aluminum scales, a great snappy auto action, which is why you're getting into the Launch series in the first place, for that, nice snappy thwack. Made in the USA, aluminum, brown G10, great ergos, great carry. Did I go over carry? No, I'm confusing myself. No, I guess I just skipped carry. So we're going to back it up for a second. Carry, I apologize, guys. That's the first time I've ever done that. Carry sits deep in your pocket. You have a shorty deep carry loop over style clip that goes to the butt end of the knife. You have no jimping, no sharp edges, no flipper tabs. It sits out in your pocket very well. It disappears in your pocket, coming in at 3 ounces. So you don't have to risk, losing it if you're pulling it up out of your pocket because of that flipper tab not being there. Just a great carry. Lefty clip is, able to be put on there if you want to switch it over if you're a lefty. I feel like I don't want to rush it, but it's a 5, guys. It really is. It's pretty much the thing I say all the time. It carries well, deep carry clip, goes deep into your pocket, no flipper tab, so you're not going to risk pulling it up out of there. Lightweight, great overall size, kind of just disappears in your pocket. Carried this in jeans 2 or 3 times, I think. I've carried this in my gym shorts and my sweatpants plenty of times around the house. I've gone on a couple walks with it and played with it out, while I'm walking around. It's good for that too. So carry is a 5. So jumping back into what I was saying earlier, I think it's a great value. You can get a lot of USA made aluminum. Excuse me, man, my voice is just acting all up this morning, or this afternoon, I should say. ProTech, I guess is what I'm trying to say, falls in that $200-ish category. So having this fall in that like 150 to 175 range for a fully made in the USA knife with really good materials, really good action, fantastic ergos, great carryability. I think that's an easy value. I just don't, are there better priced autos in the market? Possibly, but as far as I can see and as far as I've seen, the Launch series is always regarded as one of the, better sort of values in the automatic department. And I think for what you're getting for this one, $170 is a damn fair price. And I'll tell you this, if you guys like the design, if you think this is an aesthetically pleasing knife, you're going to like the knife. If you're, so if you take it like this, if you're looking to get into an automatic knife and you come across the Launch series from Kershaw and you're looking from the Launch 1 to the Launch 19, this one, and this one catches your eye based on the ergonomics. I'm really falling apart today, guys. I apologize. But if this one catches your eye based on the aesthetics of the knife, you're going to like it. Pretty much that's what I can say about it. It's really good. Again, it's super duper comfortable. Ergos for days. And yeah, so I can recommend this to anybody who really, wants to get into the Launch series, who likes this knife. Again, not my favorite design, but everything else about this knife I loved. So yeah, let me count this up really quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alrighty, so some quick math. I have a new system of just counting all the 5s I have and then adding those up and then adding everything into that. So the Launch 19 comes in at a 33 on my scale. And that is 0.5 points off of the Kershaw Bel Air, which is its brother, basically. They're going to live next to each other in the list. And I think that's a very adequate, score for it. The only thing that really held it back was what? You had the aesthetic, obviously, and the acoustics, I guess. Just kind of based off of the same thing. And it's just not being my, favorite design out there. But I think a 33 is very fair. So yeah, let me know down below. Do you guys like the Launch 19? Did you pick one of these up? Are you on the fence about it? Because if you are, get one because you're really going to like it, I think. But I'm going to wrap this up now before I start stumbling over other types of stuff. Been a long day, I guess. But yeah, I'm happy to bang out these 2 videos for you. You guys will probably be seeing this on Sunday, so I hope your guys' weekend was good if you're still watching this at this point. But yeah, so I'm going to wrap this up now. But this was my full review on the Kershaw Knives Launch 19. Launch 19. Just a fantastic USA-made auto. Yeah, so let me know down below what your guys' thoughts and opinions on them are. But I'm going to wrap this up now because I'm starting to lose steam. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you guys. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your morning, evening, night, whenever you guys are watching. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.